Welcome, my friends, to a new interview from Cuentame, USA with Moncho Camano. This week is a very special week. It is. Every week is very special, but this one is a little bit more. Since I started the channel, I think I never interview any musician or artist that they deal with darkwave music or maybe post-punk, but nothing like dark wave or cold wave, nothing like that. So this week is different. I have someone very special. So we're gonna speak with Marita Volodina. She's in Poland, I think. And she's right there, over there. And she's part of a band that I started listening to not long ago called Stridulum. But she's also part of two other projects. She's part of Boreal Fields, which I listen also to that band, which is very different. We'll talk about that. And another project that she has too many projects. Blood Tears After, also another band, another project, some collaboration she has with other musicians, I think in the United States, probably. So
yeah, definitely. It's my collaboration with a musician from US.
Right. So, and then that's not enough. She's also an international professional model. What else? And she's a makeup artist also. And I don't know what else. Well, she told me because it's a real pleasure to have her over there. I think she's in Poland. So we're gonna say hello to Marita Volodina once again. How are you, Marita?
I'm doing fantastic. Thank you. How are you?
I'm doing fine. You're located in Katowice. Is that where you are right now?
Yes, it's Katowice, southern Poland. Katowice is actually a capital city of this region. So yeah, quite nice city actually.
It's a metropolitan city, right? Very metropolitan. It's
Yeah.
not far from the Czech Republic, I think,
Yeah,
right?
it's quite close to the Czech border, to Slovakian border as well. Yeah. And this is a very specific region in Poland when we have lots of bigger cities connected to each other. So we have lots of bigger cities very close to each other. So yeah, it's kind of special region because I guess it's the only region like this in Poland.
Yeah, I heard about your city because of the mines, coal mines. I think it's very from
Yeah,
the
this is very industrial region. In the past, we had lots of coal mines, manufacturers. It changed a bit during past years, but yeah, this is something that Katowice and Silesian region is known for.
And it's also right now it's a very I guess we could say there is an art scene there, right? There's very museums and art galleries.
Yeah, lots of artsy stuff here.
Right. So that's where she is right now. And I would like to, we're going to find out about Marita because the first thing I listened to her beautiful voice that caught my attention, I think it wasn't Stereo. I think it was Distant Age, the project Distant Age. So from the French producer, I listened to one of her songs and I was like, I wonder who she is, Marita Volodina. It's so easy to find her. Just go in Google, type her name, and you from there you go all over the place. You'll find out what she does. So that's how what I did. That's why we have her here because that's how it started. So we're going to find out how she about her younger days, which not that long ago. She's still young, so we're gonna find out. You were born in the same town where you live in. You always lived in the same city, Katowice, Marita?
No, I was born in central Poland, in a quite small town, not far away from Poznań, which is capital city of region called Greater Poland.
Okay.
Yeah, this is where I am from. I moved to Katowice. I even can't remember when because it feels like a long time ago. But I live in Katowice many years already. Yeah, but I was born in central Poland. And I had really great childhood actually.
So, see, I was gonna ask you, do you come from a family of musicians, or you were the first one who enjoyed doing music?
Yeah, fact that I am doing music is not a coincidence. I am from very musical family, so it was quite natural for me to start
Mm.
making music on my own.
Mm. Did your parents play in any bands, or were they like amateurs? Or...
My dad in the past, he was a bass player, and now my little brother, he's a bass player too. He's playing in metal band now,
Oh, really? Mm.
and yeah, we even work together from time to time. So yeah, I'm really proud of him.
That's very interesting. And so, what are your when you were younger? Were you let's say, because you are also a model, what caught your attention? What was the first thing you loved? I guess music was first, then modeling, or both came more or less at the same time?
Mm, the music was always in my life. It was from the very beginning. I used to say that music is with me since I started articulating sounds,
Mm,
with my voice. Yeah, so music was very present in my family since I remember. So yeah, this is very natural thing. We all deal with the music, so it was always my big dream to make music on my own.
mm,
I had to wait a little bit, to be honest, because it was quite hard for me in the past to find the right people to make music with, to collaborate. But finally, it happened, so now I am happy creating. When it comes to the model thing, it was actually a big coincidence.
mm,
Um, this kind of stuff I never thought I would be doing, One photographer saw me somewhere at a concert and we got in contact somehow. She offered me a shooting, and that was a beginning. We became close friends. We are friends even now after
mm,
years, because as far as I remember, I model since 10,
mhm.
11 years, something like this. So quite long time already. Hard to imagine.
Right.
So yeah, this friend, she really helped me when it comes to the first steps, and then somehow it
Mm,
went deeper. And yeah, I'm doing it quite a long time now. So yeah, it was a kind of coincidence. I would say I never planned to do this,
mm,
but I found a huge load of creativity in this work. So I still really enjoy doing this. And I hope I will still be doing it for at least a couple of years.
mm, mhm.
It
So,
was kind of substitute at some point for the music I couldn't play in the past. So yeah, the modeling filled that hole, I
mm,
think.
so tell me about music then. You're saying that it took you a while to find the right people to make the music that you love doing. Is that because there was no people that they enjoyed the type of music you loved? They were into other things, other types of music, or there were no clubs playing the music that you loved, or how the...
In Poland, you have to understand how the musical scene looks like, especially when we talk about the alternative, let's call it niche scene.
Mm,
And
mm,
Poland is mostly about the metal music, actually. We have lots of quite nice, quite famous bands, which
mm,
people know around the world, actually. But when it comes to the music we play, like darkwave, cold wave, post-punk, and so on, this is not really a scene here. I mean, the scene is present, but it's very small and not many bands here. And our audience, when it comes to the Stridulum, is mostly from other countries. We got a
mm.
biggest feedback from Germany, for instance, from France, from US as well,
Right.
from UK any and many other countries. But in Poland, yeah, this is a music that people don't really listen to. I mean, the scene is quite small, and yeah,
Mm,
somehow it was easy to find someone with this kind of approach,
mm.
So yeah, it took me a while.
Are there any particular clubs in, let's say, in your city that you can play right now, where they play this type of genre of music?
Yes.
Or
During lockdown thing, I was quite out of any
mm,
shows, and to be honest, I am a very busy person and I work all the time on model stuff or music, so I don't really attend any shows at the
okay.
moment. I do it quite rarely, to be honest.
Mm,
So I don't even think if there is any club, but to be honest, yeah, when something is happening here, it's mostly about the metal. So not
Hmm.
really a particular place to play these kind of shows for the
Hmm.
music we play.
Right. I was going to ask you also regarding, since there were some political changes in Poland since the, I don't know, 2015, 16, the new government. Has there been any like sliding into a different, maybe a little more authoritarian system, do you feel, or just you don't see a difference in your way of life or your way of living in Poland? Have you noticed any difference lately, or you haven't seen anything different in the last couple of years?
I would say it's a really complex thing. Of course, because I live in
Mm.
this country, I feel everything that's happening here.
Right.
And yeah, we had lots of changes during past years, and of course, Poland, I would say it's not the easiest place to live nowadays.
Mm.
I really try to be far away from all political issues and matters because this is not my topic somehow. But of course,
Right.
everything that happens here has an impact on me somehow. So
Mm.
yeah, of course, I can tell you that people in Poland are not very happy with political changes with the government and so on. I
Mm.
personally think that as a country, as a society, we have a lot of um, potential, I would say. But I also see that all these political matters in our country limit us a lot.
Right.
So also the Russian invasion to the Ukraine influenced us a lot. Of
Hmm.
course, we try to help our Ukrainian brothers as much as possible,
Right.
but yeah, this war has a big impact on us, and everything became quite expensive here.
Right.
Life is not the easiest here. It's not the worst place in the world, of
Of
course,
course
but
not.
I still enjoy many things of Poland, I would say. But yeah, it's not the easiest at the moment. We try to deal as much as we can, and yeah, I
Mm.
try to be quite far away from political matters because this
Right.
is this is quite toxic thing, I would say.
Yeah. Right. Same thing here. Is it, I guess, a little cheaper living in Katowice than Warsaw, the capital? Warsaw is
Mhm.
it's a very expensive city, I heard.
Yeah, I think the Warsaw is the most expensive city, as every capital city, I guess.
Yeah, I guess so. I guess like New York City. So tell me, because I heard and I read some of your influences are very similar to the ones my favorite musicians. So I was like,
That's nice.
yeah, you mentioned David Bowie, that can dance. I think it's one of Nev Cave. Scott
Yeah, this
Walker,
is not.
which caught my attention. Scott Walker. I was like, Scott Walker. There is like a great album that I love from him. It's called Tilt, 1990s. It's a great album. So you got many influences, 80s music, so many, Tori Amos, so many different musicians and artists that is how did you get into these musicians? Like you went to a record store, you listen to them on the radio, you have friends who listen to those musicians and they passed CDs to you to listen to. How do you get into those artists?
Okay, I must warn you because answer can be quite long.
Okay, still
My
early.
musical journey is quite long actually and quite
Right.
rich, I would say. So, yeah, of course, all the names you mentioned are very familiar, and all the artists you mentioned are very amazing. I really enjoy their releases. Yeah, this is a quite funny thing because I started from listening to quite extreme stuff. You can imagine 9-year-old kiddo listening to Darktron, for instance. So
Right.
I was quite into extreme stuff at the very beginning. Yeah, when I was a kid, I started to listening some metal stuff. I think it's all started when I found a little box in a garage. It was a box full of old tapes from my uncle,
Oh,
and he had some very classical stuff there. old Iron Maiden stuff and so on.
Right.
So this is how it all started. But I am this kind of person who likes to look for something new all the time. And yeah, that's why I realized quickly that one genre is not enough to satisfy me.
Right.
So I started to look for something else, something I can really feel. That's how I went further to other artists, and yeah, then I had my first meeting with old old school gothic rock stuff, the post punk and so on. And then I realized that really dark, really emotional music doesn't have to be the most extreme one. You know, I still have some metal bands I really enjoy. For instance, the Paradise Lost is a band.
Okay.
It's a huge influence for me. Yeah, it's very impressive how this band is evolving during the years, and no matter what they play, they do it brilliantly. So yeah, this is a big inspiration. Yeah, and when it comes to the other artists like a Bowie, it wasn't hard to find them, you know. And
Hmm.
yeah, the Bowie is very special to me because I think that our world would never have such an artist like him. He was literally everything when it comes to the artistic expression. So
Right.
yeah.
Hmm. One of my favorite musicians. Uh, Especially, I heard there is an album that drove me nuts. I listened to it like hundreds and hundreds when I was young, hundreds of times. I couldn't stop listening, and especially in the dark. I listened to this album with no lights,
Mhm.
always dark. It's Low, the album Low.
Oh, of course.
That's
I
the one. Those
really love it.
and there is a song also Warsaw. No, there is a song Warsaw.
He has a song called Warsaw, yes.
Yeah. So I listened to that album so many times. I don't know. I was going nuts with that album. It was totally different from his other records. So till that moment, made a big difference in my life. I don't know. What can I say? so um, so what kind in your school? Do you always dress? I'm not gonna say goth, but you dress different than your other friends. So more or less, you were like in a gang of people that always they were a little different from the others. I don't know. How were you in
um,
your teen years, like in school?
yeah, I think at school I was quite visible when it comes to the different style, but yeah, I wouldn't call myself that I belong to any subculture. I was always far away from this
Okay.
because I'm kind of not really social person, to be honest. So if I meet people, they are my family, my partner, the people I make music with, my collaborators, the photographers I work with. Yeah,
Hmm.
and the reason I am not that very social is that I work with the people on my daily basis.
Right.
Yeah, I work with the many photographers, and yeah,
Hmm.
people can drain me easily from the energy. So when I am alone after all the work, I really enjoy being alone, to be honest.
Hmm.
So yeah, and professionally, I am a teacher.
I was gonna
I
ask about that.
teach
Yeah.
literature and the Polish language. So I also work with the students. So it's all about working with the people. So when I have my spare time, I prefer work on music on my own, or just being alone, or just with my partner or my close family. So
Hmm.
yeah, I'm not good at some friends gatherings and so on because I
Okay.
simply have no time for this. And yeah, from time to time I go to socialize a little bit, not to be such a hermit, you know.
Right.
But yeah, I think that people who spend the time with me, they know that I am like this from since I remember, since they remember. So no one cares anymore, you know, and no one analyzes.
Right.
So yeah, this is what I am, and yeah, they
So
completely accept this.
do you like walking? Do you do a lot of walking in your city, or you go more in the countryside? Or you like enjoying like going visiting, seeing, I don't know, because I see a lot of photographs of you, like in churches or cemeteries. You're like,
Yeah.
you like the
Cemeteries,
city?
city cemeteries are my soft spot somehow.
Mm,
Yeah, since I live in a big city for a long time, I used to being in a city and I like it. And I am not sure if I could find myself in a village, for instance, now.
okay.
I am not sure about, but of course, I really love to go somewhere outside the city when I have
Mm,
some days off. And yeah, we are walking a lot with my boyfriend when we travel somewhere to another places, yeah,
mm,
so we are walking a lot, really a lot, and we
well,
really love it.
hmm. So tell me, how did you got your first band? Uh, uh, was Stridulum your first band you ever played?
Yeah, my first, let's say, official band was a Stridulum, of course, yes.
Hmm.
Um, yeah, it was a bit strange because it was also, I would call it also coincidence because I hardly remember how we actually started. I think that's one of us just put some advertisement about looking for a musician, and somehow we got in contact, and we really quickly realized that we really want the same. And yeah, we have very common vision of what we want to do musically, and
Hmm.
everything is just a history now. So yeah, so far we released just EP, the debut album, and now we are working on the second album already. And
Right.
yeah, it's pretty enjoyable. We are in a band like a family. Arkady is like a brother to me,
Hmm.
so we are very close, and it's yeah, it's kind of family, I would say.
Is he from the same city, Arcady?
Not exactly from the same city, but we live quite close, so it's not a problem at all.
Hmm.
I mean,
So,
nowadays it's not a problem at all, even if you are from US and I am from Poland,
of course, that's
I
about,
have this project, so yeah.
yeah. So I was gonna ask you, there are a lot of duos playing dark wave and cold wave. Many duos, two people that seems like they get together. Uh, is that something that it just happens, or I don't know? I see so many duos playing that type of music.
hmm
I
I
don't know.
think it's quite easy formula for the
Okay.
people, and for the fact that you don't need to have a full band for this. It's also easier for you to manage, all the technical stuff. There are just two of us to discuss about when we have a day in the studio, for instance. So yeah, it's easier for me to set all the things with one person instead of five, for instance. And yeah, for the fact that it's based mostly on electronic instruments, yeah, it's completely enough to do it when we are just two of us.
Hmm.
So yeah, maybe that's why it's easier solution to have.
Mm. The name Stridulum, it was, to tell you the truth, I have no idea. I remember a movie I'm talking about called Stridulum, but I couldn't quite tell what it was. It's a Latin word, but
Yeah,
what it has to do with sound? I didn't. What's the meaning of
exactly. It
Stridulum?
has to do something with the sound. That was the clue actually when we
Mm.
decided to use this name. I also know this movie you mentioned,
Yes,
but the movie has a
it's a
not no
movie.
relation to the name.
Oh,
This is a Latin word. And
yes.
when I was at the university, I was learning Latin, and because it was in a program of my university, of course. And
Hmm.
yes, stridulum is a word, is a Latin word, and it means quite sharp, piercing sound. And I
Hmm.
think when it comes to the cold dark music, it pictures
Right.
everything we sound, everything we wanna
Hmm.
tell through our music with this name. So I think it fits quite well.
Yeah, right. Um, like you said, you have one EP that you the band started in 2019, right, Marita? That's when you got together, or
Yes,
when you
that was
started?
the, if I remember right. It feels like a long time ago already, to be honest. Yes, the first release was an EP, The Burial,
For real,
our very first experience. Yeah, so we learned really a lot
right?
because of this.
It had 5 songs. The one I enjoyed the most was Unreal. I listened to that album.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's the, and then you in 2021, you have the first the debut album, I guess, debut
Mm-hmm.
album called
Right.
Soothing Tales of Escapism,
Yeah.
2021 at the end, December, I think. Um,
Yeah.
so that's quite. Those songs were written during the pandemic, I guess, the year before.
Not all, but mostly, yes. I
Most of
remember the
them.
first song, it was a fear. The fear
Yeah.
we made right before pandemic. It was around November, I guess.
Hmm.
And then I think I don't remember which was the next one, but the most of the songs we made during pandemic, yes.
Hmm. Yeah, that album has many gems. I listened to Fear. That's one of them. When you mentioned Ghost, it's also one of my favorites.
Ah, thank you so much.
Yeah, there's so many I listen to that. They're really well constructed, let's say. And I was going to talk to you about the lyrics because you don't in this project you have with Arcadi, you don't play any instruments, right? He's in charge of all the instruments. You in charge of writing and lyrics, or you are also part of
You
the
mean me in the band or me in general?
in general?
I mean, I graduated from music school from classical guitar class. So I learned how to play a guitar and piano actually, because piano is also on the program. So yes, I know how to play guitar and piano. And in the Stridulum, Arcadi makes most of song structures with my little help. So it's not
Okay.
that I don't do anything about the music. I help him. Sometimes I come with some musical ideas. So yeah, but most of the structures are his, so he's pretty good at it. So but yeah,
Right.
my favorite instrument is the voice, definitely, so I stick to it.
Hmm. But you still play guitar? You practice guitar or
Not
keyboard?
really, to be honest. I learned how to do it. I graduated from music school. I don't
Hmm.
do it anymore. But it
Hmm.
was very precious to me, and I am really grateful for that experience because, yeah, when you play some instruments, you are more aware of what you are doing musically, I guess. Of
Hmm.
course, it can also be a curse, I would say, because it's easy to get into terrible perfectionist
Right.
mode, you know. And this is my problem actually, because I am awful perfectionist. I have to confess, and yeah,
Hmm.
when you are classically trained and you are aware of everything, you even can't enjoy sometimes live shows because you can hear all the mistakes, for instance, you know. So
Right.
it's easy to get rid of this kind of thinking. So yeah,
Hmm.
it's not easy sometimes. But through years I managed somehow, but I remember the times when it was hard to me.
Hmm.
So there are good and bad sides of it.
Right. Regarding your writings, how would you describe them? Uh, Emotional experiences, uh, dramatic.
You mean
It's
my
like,
lyrics?
yeah, it's like a vehicle for you to process like internal pain. How would you describe fears? What drives you
I
into those subjects? Let's say.
Okay, I think I deal in my lyrics with everything what is important to me. Also everything what is most painful, of course. It's always some kind of catharsis to me.
Hmm.
It really helps to get rid of bad emotions and bad feelings, I have. But of course, it's not that I always write about bad and sad things, of course.
Hmm.
And yeah, I also write about things that are precious to me. The love, the sacrifice, for instance, the loyalty, and then
Hmm.
so on. So yeah, it's always very emotional. It's emotional. You mentioned word dramatic. It might be sometimes a little bit. Yeah.
Right. Hmm.
So everything that is very precious, but also everything that is very painful to me.
Hmm. I
It's
was gonna
some
ask
kind
you.
of getting rid of everything that
Hmm.
I fear, I suffer from. So
Yeah, I was gonna also ask you regarding this subject. Do you believe that everything that comes out of you, that all the roots come from the outside world, from what surrounds you, or more for the internal part of you?
I think it's a mixture of both.
Okay.
I mean, I think I perceive myself as a very spiritual person. So lots of problems and lots of struggles comes from the inside, of course. But yeah, they are also pretty much influenced by the outside world. You know, everything that surrounds us is quite part of us somehow. It becomes quite part of us. So
Hmm.
yeah, I would say it's a
It's a
mixture
mix
of
of
both.
both. Hmm. Are there any special places that wake up your creative process, like space? Uh, like even in the morning, midday. Is there any special way that drives you more into writing, or any location where you are, or I don't know, what inspires you the most to write? Or there is makes no difference. You can write in a beach, or you can write in a dark space. I don't know. It really makes no difference. What wakes up your creative process?
It's a bit tricky because I never know when it comes, you know. But I realized already that most of the songs I wrote when I was traveling. When I
Okay.
sit somewhere in a train, when I sit in a plane, because I travel a lot for model jobs, for instance.
Hmm.
So yeah, traveling is a good setting for me somehow. And then it's quite funny when I hear good melody in my head, then I have to go very quickly to the toilet, you know,
Mm-hmm.
open my, you know, and record it quickly so I can't forget. So yeah, the writing, when it comes to the writing melodies and the lyrics, I love traveling and doing it while traveling. So there is no specific place. Sometimes it happens when I am home just chilling, you know. Sometimes it happens when I travel. Sometimes it happens, you know, everywhere actually. So this is not really a favorite time and not really a favorite place. Maybe when it comes to time, I realized because I am quite owl type. I am the most creative one when I am in the night. So evening, late evening, and night, they are the best moments for me for creating.
Hmm. Anything relating to dreams, that you may have a dream and you remember something and you write it down, or never happens like that?
Dreams, yeah, they are very present in my lyrics. Unfortunately, I am quite strange person because I really barely can remember good dreams, but I remember
The bad ones.
uh, completely the nightmares. So, so yeah,
Hmm.
definitely dreams influence my lyrics a lot.
Hmm. When you have like a piece of work written down, or you believe that the song or is complete, do you look for any uh, people to take a look at it, any friends, and see what they think about it? What's their opinion? Or you don't really show them anything? It's just you keep it.
There are two people I usually send my stuff to. It's Arkady from Stridulum,
Hmm.
like I told you, is my close friend, and my boyfriend, who is a musician as well.
Okay.
And yeah, and he deals with the music much longer than me, and he's quite experienced, so I always trust his judgment. And yeah, and when it comes to Arkady, he's very open-minded person. So when I feel like I'm trapped somewhere in my head with my ideas, you know, I send them over to him, and yeah, and
Hmm.
I always believe that he can help me a bit with a proper judgment.
Right. Hmm. Tell me about the other project, Burial Fields. It's a quartet, four of you, right?
Ye-
And
Yes.
you're from Poland, right?
Yes,
Other
yes,
team
yes. We
members.
are from around this Silesia region as well. There are four of us, and this project was born from our love to the Lynch and Tarantino movies and the Nick Cave music. So this is that were the biggest influences, of course. Yeah, and
Very different from Stridulum. Very
of course,
different. A
because
lot.
because my musical taste is very eclectic, so I'm afraid it's not possible to put all my
Hmm.
ideas into one band. So
Right.
that's why I deal with a couple of projects, you know, because yeah, I
Yeah.
really like to try many things in music still, so I don't like to limit myself.
Yeah.
So let's see what will happen in the future.
Yeah,
And yeah,
you put out 3 singles, right, Marita? 3 singles I listened to.
yes, EP
Three
is on
sing-
the way. EP contains 4 songs, so one more to reveal.
Okay.
And yeah, we are working slowly on a full album now. And yeah, it will take us a while, of course, but we are working, so something new will happen in the future,
Hmm.
definitely.
Yeah, I listened to the song "A Hole in the Woods." It's very bluesy, very a lot of guitar, heavy blues guitar in that
Yeah,
song. Like,
kind of Americana vibes as well,
yeah,
right?
Americana, yeah, and very classic dark Americana. Um,
Yeah.
it came to my head, which is always thinking about other musicians, which is not a good thing sometimes to compare. But I have the vibe because there is a model. You probably know about models. So her name is Karen Elson. I don't know if you
Mhm.
know Karen
Yes.
Elson. Well, she was married to Jack White, and she put out a couple albums also. And her first album is very, I guess, some dark murder ballads and stuff like that. There's like a vibe that I caught that I tried to figure out because she was a model also, but nothing. It's not the same type of music. But that's what the first thing came to my mind when I listened to the Burial Fields album. So I really enjoy that music, those
Yeah, of
songs.
course.
It, so I I would suggest to take a look at this band, Burial Fields, because it's very different. So I listen to those songs and I really enjoy listening, probably a bunch of times already. So that's another project that she has. And then she has another one, which I don't know that much yet. It's called Blood Tears After, her collaboration with the other musicians, also from the United States. So what's that about, Marita?
You couldn't find anything about this project yet because it's nothing out at the moment.
Right.
We are working on a full album, so we are in the process of recordings. I mean, all the instruments are written and recorded now, but now it's just my part to record all the vocals. So yeah, a
Mm,
couple of songs left for me to record, and then we will be dealing with the mix and mastering, and then yeah, something will be out for sure. The musically is quite old school, cold wave post punk stuff,
okay.
with also with a lot of guitars, with a vivid bass. So also a bit different than everything I do in Stridulum and the Burial Fields for sure.
Mm,
And there are 2 of us in this project, just me and a Victor, who is living in US at the moment.
okay.
So yeah, more
Hmm.
things to come.
More
Yeah,
things
stay
to come. I'm waiting. I'll be waiting. Um, so regarding the studio, do you have you are still working in the studio? Are you still working in putting together?
We are finishing at the
You're
moment.
finishing? Hmm.
Yes, the whole album is already written. The whole instrumental layers are recorded already, and just 2 songs left for me to record when it comes to vocals. And then we will start immediately with mixes and mastering. If everything goes well, we expect to release in the second part of this year. So
Hmm.
keep your fingers crossed.
Hmm. I was gonna ask you about also the your collaboration with his name is Manuel, I think. It's Manuel
Yeah.
H.
Mhm.
Manuel Herview. Is that his name? From Distant Age. Distance
Yeah.
Age. That's his name, right? How did he get in contact with you? Because he put out this EP called Intimacy, and you were part of it. And you
Yes.
have a beautiful song. That's the one I listen, Waters of Woe, which is really nice. And how did you get in touch with him? Or was he the one who called you?
Uh, when it comes to all the collaborations with the other artists I make, because from time to time I make some guest appearances somewhere, it's always easy peasy somehow, because it's like someone writes to me, ask for collaboration, send me a song, and if I like it, I do it. And with Manuel, it was very easy because we quickly realized that our common vision is pretty clear. So yeah, and Manuel is a very friendly, really nice person, and yeah, working with him was a very enjoyable experience.
Mm.
And for the fact that we made this song, I also visited Paris to make a video
Video.
together. It was
Mm.
very, very nice experience. We spent a really amazing time, very creative time. I met really nice people. So yeah, that's it. It was very easy in the end. When you find the people who share
Mm.
vision with you, everything you need is a will to do it.
You did a beautiful video, very different.
Thank you
What's
very
that?
much.
When
You
was
are
it?
working hard on
Yeah,
it.
where was it taped? It was like a old warehouse. Where do you do that video at? Where was that at?
Uh, that was very strange, big building we
Okay,
rented. I even can't tell you exactly what it was. It was a huge, huge space.
it's like an old
Uh,
factory. I don't know. It was very,
this
very.
kind of, yes, it looked like an old manufacturing area. Yes,
Yeah, yeah.
something like this.
Hmm. It's a great
And of
video.
course, we made some shoots also in the studio, so it wasn't
Right.
only about this factory. Yeah,
Yeah, it's a great video. I saw on YouTube. That's very, very nice
thank you
production.
so much.
Yeah, and she said, well, that's why I got I got in touch with her because I saw the video. Like, who is she? uh, but that's how it happens. It only takes like 2 seconds. You go on YouTube and you get something suggested to you. You may click or maybe just go somewhere else, and that's it. You're never gonna meet her, get in touch because you're going somewhere else. That's what happens with music nowadays. You click
Definitely.
or you don't click. If you click, you may get something good, or maybe it's terrible. But if you just go somewhere else, then you may lose something that you was gonna really interest. It's gonna love, but who knows? So, um, so what are your plans, Marita, for this year once those projects are completed? Because you don't do you go on tour somewhere sometimes, or everything so far is being done in the studio?
When it comes to touring, it's a bit tricky to me at the very moment because I am a very busy person. For the fact that I travel a lot for model jobs.
Right.
Like I told you, I travel, I work constantly, actually.
Yeah. I see so
So
many photographs that you put out. You never stop. It's thousands of them. It's a big portfolio, and you never
yeah,
stop.
and it's believe me, it's just small part of all I made so far. So yeah, I work constantly. Of course, it's amazing because there are so many photographers who wants to work with me. So it's amazing, and that's why I still have and keep this job because yeah, I meet many amazing and creative, very talented people, which is really amazing side of this work. So sometimes you can make nice friendships, that stays for years with you. And yeah, it's always amazing to me to share some creative experience with other creative people. So yeah, this is very, very nice working option for me. But yeah, when it comes to touring, I definitely plan to start playing the shows, but I still need to prepare a
Mm.
bit for doing this, not too often because I don't think I will find a lot of time to do like complete big tour. But
Right.
some shows from time to time, definitely. Maybe in second part of the year or maybe next year, but surely there will be something. So I am working on it. So
Sooner or later, something will come up. Hmm.
definitely.
Hmm. I was gonna ask you, what happens nowadays? Most of the listeners want to remain only in one main style. It's like a bubble. They stay in one type of music, and they don't want to listen. They don't want to give a chance to other styles or listen to other music. Um, just whatever sounds more familiar to them, more pop music. They don't like to experiment with other styles. Is that something that worries you, or really doesn't matter? You just do whatever you feel like that comes out of you, and you don't really care what the music industry may guide you through. It doesn't influence you at all.
When it comes to me, I really like people with an open mind, with an eclectic taste, not only when it comes to music, of course, but yeah,
Mhm.
open people are people that I usually understand the most, and they can understand me the most, of course. But yeah, I also know people who sticks to one genre and they are not willing to do anything else, to listen, to give a try, you know. Uh,
Right,
my musical taste is very eclectic. I really love to try new stuff. So yeah, if someone likes to limit themselves, it's their problem, of course.
right.
So what should I do, right?
What can you do
Yeah,
for
the
them
main thing
to
for
pick
me.
up your attention? To pick their attention is really hard because the venues are not open to, it's very
Mhm,
hard to extend your arms out to other people. It's hard for them to find you sometimes because of that, because they can close themselves to the what they have and they don't want to look somewhere else. It's like
mhm,
I'm just talking to friends that I have, which they're like they just like listening to this type of music and they don't really pay attention to any other thing, which is not a good way of getting your culture. Let's say it's
mhm.
like they're
And
close-minded.
when it comes to the Stridulum, I think we never wanted to be for such a people who stick only to
Mm,
one genre, because our influences in band are so various. So we really hope that we can reach the people with a quite open mind, open ears, let's say. So yeah, I think we prefer rather to have such a listeners who are keen on trying new stuff. So
mm,
on the other hand, we don't really do it for the people. We do it just for our own
yourself.
happiness, even if it sounds egoistic a bit. Yeah, the most important thing is that making music makes me happy. If
Mm,
it makes happy other people as well, that's amazing, of course. But yeah, the main purpose why I started to make music is because singing makes me really happy. Singing makes me fulfilled person, fully satisfied, artistically satisfied person. So, yeah, if
mm.
someone enjoys it too, that's amazing.
Do you had a vocal coach, or you just you learn by just practicing yourself out? How do we went to music academy, but did you had also vocal lessons, vocal teachers and stuff?
Yes, simultaneously, when I was attending music school, I was attending singing lessons. So
Mm,
I was doing it for like 8, 9 years, maybe. It was a bit of time. Yeah, so that was the moment when I realized, yeah, this is what I want to do. So it
mm.
was easy. It
Was
was
it?
easy. When you feel it's the right way, you
Mm,
know, you're really keen on doing this. So I was a small kid, but my dreams, my ideals are still
mm,
with me somehow. So yeah,
mm,
but the singing lesson really helped because I'm
mm,
more aware of my voice. I know what I am doing. Yeah, I can control my voice much
mm.
better than without lessons, I guess. So it was very helpful.
You always sound in English, or you always sound you sound in Polish also,
Uh,
or
English seems to
it's always
be the
been your language?
English seems to be the comfiest way for me.
Hmm,
Uh, the Polish is a very hard language. It's
hmm.
extremely hard and it's very sharp. So I don't think it's a good idea. Somehow for me, it doesn't work well.
It's like
I
less
really
harmonic to sing. It's not like not as melodic. It's easier to sing in English.
it's English. It's also a good way to be understood by many people, right? And when you sing
Hmm.
in Polish, not really, to be honest, it's one of the hardest languages in the world. Actually, I heard. So
Probably.
yeah, I think,
Hmm.
and as our audience is mostly from other countries, I think English feels to be quite right way to do it, and it feels the comfiest way somehow. To be honest, I fear somehow singing in Polish because I think it's extremely hard. Also, when it comes to lyrics, when you know your language that much, that well,
Hmm.
you might go into this trap of writing some banality. I think it's not easy to write something exquisite, let's say. So yeah, English, it works the best for me, for sure.
Right. I was going to ask you regarding, you learn Latin in the university? Is that where you learn Latin?
Yeah, also in high school.
In high school. Is that part of the curriculum to learn Latin? Oh,
It depends
you
what you
choose?
study. When you study literature or some linguistic stuff, Latin is a part of the program, yes.
That's surprising to me that you learned Latin. And well,
Yeah.
we talk about the United States, forget it. We don't learn it that much, but Latin is something very. I guess the only time I could listen to Latin people speaking is probably in church. Some priest that used to talk, speak in Latin, but it's not.
Not very common thing nowadays.
Yeah, a very common thing, especially singing in Latin. That will be very special, I guess. Are you a religious person? And now that I was going into this subject, you don't really. Are you into? I don't know. What can I
This
say?
is a very typical question when someone knows I am from Poland, actually.
Right. I was gonna go into that a little bit. I don't know if you don't have to answer anything about that.
Yeah,
I
no
was just
worries. No
thinking
worries.
about it,
Not a
thinking
problem.
about popes and priests and all that stuff. I don't know.
That's not a problem to answer for me, not at all, because I'm totally not religious person. I stay far away from any form of religion. I am also not an atheist because, like I said, I am quite spiritual person. At least I feel so
Okay.
deeply. But no, when it comes to any organized form of religion, no, it's not for me. And this is also not really true nowadays that Poland is very religious country. Maybe it was like this in the past. It was definitely, I think so. But this is also part of PR that our government tries to show in the front of other countries, I would say. But when it comes to the present time, I know many young people living here, and I can tell you we are not religious country at all, not anymore. Just maybe older generation is still quite religious, but nowadays young people, younger generations are not really religious. So this is not really a truth that we are very, very Catholic country. Not anymore.
Okay, so it's very similar to the United States. They want to push it into people, but it's not true that it's so Christian or Catholic or evangelist or anything like that. Most of the people, they don't really care about that, but they they show. It seems like the appearance that there is a lot of religious people that they are, same thing. And so thinking about that, do you carry any let's say you don't do that many uh, uh, live shows, but is there anything that you always need to carry with you? Like, I'm not gonna say luck, like a talisman, like a necklace or something special that someone gave to you and you always keep and you feel much comfortable having it, or really there is nothing that really is attached to that will give you good feelings. It doesn't really matter all those subjects that no, like crystals and things like that, something that you really are attached to material things.
I am really not. I'm really not into material stuff, to be honest. So I always think that everything I need the most is inside.
Okay.
So I don't seek to any things that I believe they give me luck or something. And what makes me feel better when I am stressy, when I am in a bad mood, for instance, is being in contact with my beloved ones. They give me strength, they give me encouragement because I am the lucky person who has really, really loving people around me.
Mm.
So, yeah, I think being in contact with my beloved ones is the most important thing. And yeah, when I need some strength and encouragement, I
Mm.
always look inside. So, no, no really material things.
Mm. So, on a regular day, how much time do you spend listening to music, making music? How many hours? How besides modeling, if you split the day in hours, how many hours will you spend in relating to music?
I would say all the hours that they has.
Yeah.
Actually, even if I don't listen to music, I think about the music. It's quite funny, especially when I am before releasing the album, for instance. Like now, it's quite hot period for me when it comes to the Stridulum because everything in my head are circling around the Stridulum. So
Right.
when I go to work, when I travel, I still keep listening the new songs, and try to find some mistakes, try to find something for improvement, or work on something new, or write down some ideas for the mixing and the mastering. So
Right.
yeah, this is it. And the problem is when I am before a release or something like this, I can't I can't be focused on other music. So I am into my stuff. I listen to it for hours. And then when the record is done and it's released, then I can breathe deeply, and then I can go back to the listening to the artist I like.
Hmm.
So yeah, at the very moment, everything is about this Stridulum because yeah, this record is very special to us, and through all these years, we learned a lot, and this feels like a bit different release,
Hmm.
a special one, a bit a new one. We tried a bit of new means of expression. We also will have some guests on this new album, which is also very important because yeah, the people that will be there are also very, very close to the band.
Okay.
So this is a period and this is the album um, of many, many new things for us. That's
Hmm.
why. That's why I am very focused on it and can't think about anything else somehow.
So you think it's gonna be like a big step in your career? It's
It
gotta
feels a
be.
bit, yes,
It
it
feels
feels a
like.
bit for me at least that it will be important for me for my development, definitely.
Hmm. So we gotta keep an eye on this release uh, from Stridulum and Marita. Um, I'll be waiting. If it's like I always say, if it's as good as the last one, still good. But if it's better, even better. What
I
can you
deeply
say?
hope it's better because yeah, for me it's really end of the art when you stay in one place and you don't want to do anything better, of course. Sometimes
Right.
you can't influence this, of course, but yeah, the aim is to do things better and better, to development is very important.
Hmm. I hope I listen to one of those themes or songs, and if they drive me into tears, that will be a good song, I guess. That will help me. If it drives me into some kind of deep self-reflection, it will be a good song also. So we'll see
I hope it
what,
will.
what she writes and the music. Um, if it takes me to a different plane, that's what I like, to make me think. The music should make you think. If just passes by like a car just drives by, that's not music. That's
Of
something
course.
in the background. It's like a
Mhm.
wallpaper that you don't pay attention to. So that's what I like about Stridulum, about Marita, and what she's doing right now. Uh, bad way, cold way, whatever you want to call it. If it's good music or bad music, that's all it is. But what she's doing is good music and good lyrics. I like what she writes about, and it's very. She's very interesting person, to tell you the truth. Just type Marita Volodina uh, on your search, and from there you can go into her Instagram or Stridulum or whatever. Just type the name. It's not that many that you can find with her name. I think the first thing that comes up is her. Nobody in South America named Marita Volodina, let's say. So I really appreciate talking to her. She has could probably talk to her about so many things. I just want to wish her all the best during this year with their releases of Stridulum. Uh, she's still working, I guess, with Burial Fields, right? You're still gonna have things coming out of that.
Yeah, with 3 bands, we are very
So
active, so we are working on new stuff.
it's hard. I guess it's gotta be hard, Marita, to do all those things together. It's like I'm like thinking you're writing something and you're thinking, is this for Stridulum? Is this for Burial Fields? Will this work for
As the
any of
bands
them?
are so different, I never have this
You
problem,
never
to
don't
be
have a
honest,
problem.
because I
Like
already know where it fits, So no, it's not really hard actually,
it's
because
not.
everything I do, each one is different from the other one, so very different, I would say. So no, it's not really a case.
But when you write something, uh, like any subject, is something that just comes up, or you think about it before starting to write. Let's say I'm gonna write about this subject, and you write, or it's like you just write something that comes up to your mind, and then you spend in that, or you maybe go somewhere else and you write into a different thing that you never thought about, or I don't know. How does that work?
Of
Would
course,
you?
there are some subjects I want to raise when I am working on lyrics, for instance, but mostly it comes to me when I hear the song.
Okay.
And then I think what kind of emotions, what kind of feelings, it causes. And then I quickly realize what I want this song to be about somehow. So yeah, everything is a tunes, I would say. So when I hear the song, I also feel something immediately, and I know the topic, or general topic at least, of course.
Hmm. All right, that sounds very interesting. So, well, I got nothing more to say. I just want to wish her all the best, and I want to ask her to say something that a lot of times you ask musicians and artists questions that they don't really think are very interesting. So I want to ask her. There is a question maybe that you would like someone to ask you instead, and you will answer the question yourself. You never think this guy is interview, but they never asked me about this subject or about this other things. Then maybe they should. Is there anything that you feel that it should be asked?
To be honest, you asked me so many interested questions, so I have nothing to add actually. Yeah,
Oh,
they're really one of most interesting questions I had in the interview. So thank you for this, because not every interview is about that. So no,
right.
not really, not really.
No. Hmm. Now I'm going to ask you the last question, which is the stupid question I leave for last. Then I've been asking a lot of metal, mostly metal female singers, what they have to. I give you four pop singers. Maybe you don't know them. I have no idea. And you're gonna tell me in the order of your predilection, the one you like the most and the one you like the least. Or you can say I don't
Okay,
like any of
fine.
them.
Let's try
So
it.
we're gonna leave this crazy question for last. So I'm gonna name four pop singers, and you're gonna tell me from one to four which one you like the most and the least.
Okay.
All right. So we're gonna name
But
Taylor.
I should be judging the vocal skills or the overall of.
Overall, because maybe you didn't listen to any of the songs, you just got a perception of this person like being not that good, or you don't like the
Okay.
style of music. You never listened to a complete song, but you heard of them, or maybe in the supermarket you heard a song, and I don't know.
Okay, from 1 to 4
Two, four.
or 5.
So I'm gonna name you Taylor Swift. Uh,
Uh,
Okay,
2.
okay, that's one. The other one, Billie Eilish. Billie
4.
Eilish. You said four already.
Really, 4. It's really good voice.
So this is the four. The number one. I'm gonna give you the four, and then you tell me.
No, sorry, I just got it wrong. You mean the one from 4? Just
The
a
4
place.
is the least, and 1 will be the one you like the most.
Okay, so Billie Eilish is then 1.
Billie Eilish will be the 1 already.
Yes, and the Taylor Swift will be the 4, I guess.
Well, you put a last. You don't know me number 1. Okay.
Okay.
So
I just got it wrong. Sorry.
So you got okay. You got Billie Eilish 1 and Taylor Swift the last one. Then it will be Lana Del Rey.
2.
So Lana will be number 2. And then the third one is what's her name? I forgot. Oh, that was crazy. I forgot about her name. Very. Oh my God. Oh, this is horrible. I've been asking the same question for many weeks, and now I forgot the name of the girl. It's oh my God. Oh, this is horrible.
So let's say it's a singer I don't know.
All right, so let's think. Oh man, it's the black girl. Oh, she's the forget it. That's just horrible. Now I really destroyed the question because I don't have the
Don't worry, you forgot. I got it wrong. Everything is fine.
Okay. Anyway, I think you will put it in number 3 or 4th anyway. So I think so. Then 1 and 2, Billie Eilish and Lana Del Rey. They're very similar to all the answers from all the other female singers. They always put them first and second.
Maybe because they are just good singers, especially Billie Eilish is a technically brilliant singer, and I don't judge the music, which is not really my thing, but when it comes to the voice itself, it's really good. It's really amazing.
Yeah, so that's very interesting. That you always choose.
And Lana Del Rey, for instance, she has very nice, very interesting color of the voice, in my opinion. So that's why this kind of choice.
Okay. No, I agree with that. All right. So if I probably remember in 5 minutes what the other singer was.
Okay.
But don't worry about it because she wouldn't be number 1 or 2. So don't worry about that. So I really thank Marita for talking to me on a Sunday, which over there, what time is it over there, Marita? Now it's like 3.
To be honest, it's 1:39 at the moment.
13:39. Okay.
Yeah.
So it's time for you. How many times do you eat a day? Do you have a special diet? That's not a question I have because she's a mother and she has to take care of herself.
I eat 5 times a day. It's quite a lot. 5 times a day, but small portions. Yes, of course, I am on a diet, but it's very healthy one. Yeah. Because I need a lot of energy. So yeah, I'm just vegetarian, and yeah, I eat 5 times a day. So in a moment, it's my another meal, of course.
Yeah, I was going to ask you about your diet. So you're a vegetarian. Do you do a lot of exercise? Do you do a lot of running, jogging, bicycle?
I go to the gym. So yeah, yeah, regularly 3 times per week. So
3 times per week. You have to. Very special.
Yeah, the model work is not that easy like people usually think. So
no, it's not easy.
It's really physical work. It's not like I'm standing in the front of the camera, just standing, not moving and looking good, It's really not about that. It's about hours of traveling, sometimes during night. And immediately after traveling, you have a shooting, for instance. And for the fact that I really love to be creative during shooting, I pose in a constant movement, So yeah, after shooting, I feel like after a gym session. So it's very physically demanding job.
More than music? Or it's very similar?
Depends. I mean, when I do music, usually my throat is destroyed after a whole day of singing, for instance. But when I have model job, my whole body hurts afterwards. So So yeah, I am a bit wrecked after both of activities, but in a different way,
Right. It's painful sometimes. You gotta.
Yeah. No pain, no gain, they say.
No pain, no gain. So Yeah. So I just want to wish Marita the best on both careers.
Thank you so much. And
I
thank you
really,
for this enjoyable conversation. I really enjoyed.
I really appreciate talking to her because, to tell you the truth, I wasn't expecting Marita to do the interview because not now. I mean, late the last weeks, I was like, for sure she has to talk to me. But before that, because I didn't see too many, I was like, maybe she's not up to the, talking to some guy in the United States that has nothing better to do than on Sunday than talk to me. I don't know. So I really appreciate that, Marita. And like I said, I wish you all the best on your both projects. And I'll
Thank you so much.
keep in touch. I will keep in touch. I want to see what's coming up, and I suggest to all my listeners and viewers to, like I said, go to her. Like I said, you can type Marita Volodina, or you can go into Instagram, you can go to Bandcamp, all those. What's the best thing they should do, Marita? If they want to listen to your music, go to Bandcamp.
Yeah, I think the Bandcamp is the best medium nowadays to
Right,
listen to our music and to support the artist directly. So just
right.
go to our Stridulum Bandcamp or Biofields Bandcamp, and that's it.
Yeah,
This is yeah.
yeah, that's the best thing, I think. Do you have any merchandise? I don't know.
For now, not, but we are working on some t-shirts. Yeah, definitely. Some clothes, definitely we will have.
Okay,
Definitely somewhere close to the release of our album, there will be something new.
okay. So just look into that. Go into YouTube and you'll see a couple of videos that she did. They're all very interesting. From Stridulum and even the one, like I said, on Distance Age. That's a nice video. So you can find more things regarding Marita. And if you're into modeling and all that, there is easy also. There is a lot of photographs, which, when I do my little video thing, I choose pictures, photos of the artists. And Marita has so many photos. I don't know. I'm going crazy looking for the best one. And
Maybe I can help you with the selection afterwards, after our interview.
there's, there's so many. I'm like, should I use this one? Should I use the other one? Because there's so many of them. They're all so nice, and it's hard to find. A lot of artists, they have a couple of them. They all look the same, but there are so different styles and different poses, and I don't know. And I don't know anything about modeling, to tell you the truth, but they're nice. What can I say? So nothing else. I really, like I said, all the best for Marita, for his projects,
Thank you so
Stridulum,
much. All the
Burial
best for you.
Fields, and Blood Tears After, all three. And we'll talk again next week. I don't know. I don't think it's going to be as nice as Marita, but we'll see. See you next week. Thank you.